Hey everyone, welcome back to my Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous Azata playthrough. We're gonna keep exploring around. We'll go check out this primitive altar for now. We've handled most of the armies. There's a few more forts up here. And there's this one big army down here, but I think we're a lower level than it, but... Oh, it's just regents, okay. But we might be able to... If I put the... maybe if I put the paladins in here instead of the scouts. And change the formation around a bit. This army might be able to take them because paladins can do a fair bit of damage. I guess I want this guy's mana to recharge. I think it recharges every time we rest. Well, we can test that out, can't we? We'll start moving the party. Yeah, we'll do a rest. We'll do a full rest. Because we're going to be stopping at camp and picking up Nenio, and we'll just go and do... Actually, I think we'll do this side of things before we start moving up here. But, we'll just rest for 9 hours. It must be a pain having to cut a hole in every pair of pants for your tail. For once, I actually feel lucky compared to someone else. It ain't just the case of making a hole. I need to stitch it so the whole seam doesn't split. That's why I learned to sew. My tail's a blessing in disguise. Just forgot to sort the audio properly again there. I'm getting careless. I've done that a few times now. Yeah. Do we risk... Yeah, so the army... We'll leave the army here for a little bit and just let the energy recharge while we do this. Yeah, we'll enter camp just so we can reset our abyssal corruption. Because that bar, if it starts getting to a certain point, you start getting debuffs to your party. So it's good to rest in your camp often. So before we head out that way, we'll do a rest here. See if there's anyone else we can... Is there anyone we can talk to? Oh, we can loot that. I want to see if Walgif's got any new inventory actually. Show me what you can get using your tiefling connections. Maybe we can get some new cool stuff. Expensive stuff. Oh, that's good. This robe grants the wearer a +2 bonus to spell penetration. That's very good, actually. And he's got a few rings of protection, things like that. Oh yeah, we can give those to people as well. Sell off all the junk. Anything else that counts as this that we're not going to use? I'm not going to use the great axe for anything, I don't think. I'm not using the bardiches for anyone. I might give Sealer that actually. Yeah, we'll sell these. And yeah, we'll get the Robe of Inevitability. Why not? It's fairly decent. Deal. Now we could give that to Nest. Do our spells require... So she does have spells that are affected by spell penetration. Or we could give it to Ember. Let's keep it on Nest for now. Let's have a look at... Actually, let's have a look at Regiel's class. So this is Regiel, our newest companion. He's a lawful evil, so he's very much the opposite of what we're going for with this playthrough. But and he's a gnome. He's so much fun. What's his skill set? His class like? I don't really know much about Hell Knights. So he's got 5 points in Armiger Fighter, and then the Hell Knights have Smite Chaos. I'm not really sure what to give him for his mythic rank. We can just leave. I can look at some ideas for him and come back to it later.
Always watch your back.
Queen Galfrey's still here. So, you've allied with Regiel Derange. As always, the Queen gets right to the point without any introductory remarks. I have not met him, but I have heard quite a lot. Hell Knights are powerful allies, and it would be unforgivable to reject their help in fighting the demonic threat. But they're nearly as dangerous as the army of the Abyss. What's more, they swear no obedience to me, and they don't half enjoy making a show of it. Don't forget, I am Kitrain the Knight. Maybe part of why we recruited them was to tease you, Queen Galfrey. Let's give Ember the Ring of Protection. Do any of our party use Wisdom? I don't think so. I think we're very... Yeah, we've got Intelligence, and then Darren and Ember are both Charisma. Oh, no, Lan uses Wisdom. We'll give it to him. There you go, Lan. Nice headband for you. Is this better? No, the Wicked Longbow seems a bit better to me. We'll keep him with that. Well, let's go talk to Regiel. Where is he? He's down there. Say hi as he's joined our group. Yep. Regiel stands with his hands behind his back, his favourite pose, it would seem. He seems submerged in thought, but gathers himself immediately as you approach. His pale yellow eyes examine you inquisitively. Knight Commander, it's good you found time to meet me. There's a matter of some urgency I must discuss with you. It was incredibly interesting, the power you and your companions received during the fight at the Grey Garrison. And now my interest has been gratified. The power your companions received is passed on to me as well. It manifested after my usual evening reckoning. I believe I now present a true threat to the creatures and initiates of chaos. The imprisoned cultist we kept for certain observations experienced this firsthand. Regiel's voice is unemotional, almost bored, but leaves no doubt as to the cultist's fate. Striking, isn't it? Divine intervention at a critical moment is rare, but not beyond imagining. But in this case, part of the power that you received through this intervention has passed to someone who joined you well after the fateful moment had passed. It seems to me like you're trying to find some pattern even in this. What if a miracle is just a miracle? Miracles do not exist, Regiel replies sternly. In the end, every so-called miracle turns out to be a manifestation of someone's will. Besides, I might have believed it a blind accident, but not in the accidental acquisition of great power in the exact moment it was most needed. In any case, this is shallow philosophizing. You must have some questions for me. What can you tell me about the Hell Knights? I could tell you a great deal. However, the Order's recruiters would be a better source of information on such matters. How are new Order members recruited? We accept as armigers any we find worthy, but for the main test, the one that separates the strong from the weak, they must face down a devil summoned directly from hell. If they defeat the beast honestly, the armiger becomes a rightful Hell Knight. If they lose, we simply forget their existence, like the world made an unfortunate mistake. Who do Hell Knights answer to? Only the heads of their orders. In my case, it is Lictor Reskark Autor, head of the Order of the God Claw. As a rule, the Hell Knights do not submit to the jurisdiction of any state. The same is true of local laws. We are happy to help local governments bring order, if we consider their request lawful, and if those who ask are worthy. But we do not serve them, and we have every right to refuse their demands. So what do you value most? The law, and only the law. If you care so much about the law, how can you ignore the authority of the lawful rulers in the lands where you operate? We cannot call it law because some foolish local prince thought it up, or a council of demented elders deemed it wise, now can we? You see, one of the main principles of our brotherhood is that no one, is immune from persecution. A lawful ruler may be a criminal that poses a threat to society. We must be able to punish them as well. This is why Hell Knights only honour the measure and the chain, the doctrine shared by all our orders, and why Hell Knights only serve their officers and the aim of transforming this chaos-torn... And why Hell Knights serve only their officers, and the aim of transforming this chaos-torn world and leading it to a brilliant and ordered future. We are the main bastion of order in Golarion, no matter how much some naysayers try to refute it. Thank you, I've learned everything I wanted to know. Expanding one's knowledge is a good deed, provided, of course, that this knowledge is useful. Ask if you have any further questions. Do you have a plan or a strategy for the war against the demons? A spark flashes in Regel's eyes. I have a clear idea of the forces I shall require to wage effective war against the World Wound. Certainly I do not possess them, but I know what steps I must take. We must amass and fortify, gather scouting information, resolve certain problems of an organizational nature. Once the problem of Dresden is solved, I shall direct some of my knights to prepare an outpost for the party. We have already scouted a suitable location, the ruins of an old shrine, which still holds the remnants of an ancient power and is thus a lure for demons. An excellent foothold for honing our skills and studying the enemy. That is my next goal. May I ask you a few questions about yourself? Of course. What brought you to Mendev? The demonic threat, of course, and the glaring inefficiency of the local command. I do not know if you are aware of this, but the Hell Knights owe their existence to the Demon Lords to a certain extent. Our first order appeared in response to Sivkesh's cultists in Cheliax. The chaos they wreaked could not fail to breed strict opposition. Those first knights were able to burn out the pestilence and crush the cult once and for all. I see no reason for the Hell Knights of today to not do the same to the tentacles of the World Wound is spreading. Without question, the task is far more difficult than any we've encountered before, but it must be done to preserve world order. All the more so given that Queen Galfrey and her commanders are apparently not up to the task. The motives you list sound rather impersonal. Don't you have any other reasons for joining the Crusade? Impersonality is a fine quality for a Hell Knight, and for the rest of the world as well. Personal motives, strong emotions, they are weaknesses that your enemies will use against you. I am an effective officer with years of service. The demonic invasion of Golarion obviously demands the most qualified response. That is why I'm here. It's simple. You are rather skeptical about Queen Galfrey. If my memory doesn't fail me, the current crusade is called the Fifth Crusade,
and with all of the support of the Church of Iomade and multiple other allies provided to Galfrey, no progress has been made in resolving the crisis of the World Wound. The best they could manage was to create a chain of wardstones, and even they turned out to be inadequate. I suppose that should be reason enough for my skepticism.
Forgive me for asking a personal question, but your hair is going grey and your skin is rather pale. It's the bleaching, right? The bleaching is the name given to the physical decolorization and aging of a gnome. It is caused by a lack of exposure to new and exciting experiences. This bleaching of colour is accompanied by a physiological decline, first into depression and apathy, and eventually into madness and death. Gnomes' efforts to fend off the bleaching only serve to fuel their racial curiosity and whimsy, giving them a somewhat manic edge. Some claim that the bleaching is a result of the gnomes leaving the First World thousands of years ago. The few gnomes who survive the bleaching develop enigmatic wisdom and a connection to the natural world, earning the name bleachlings.
Of course it's the bleaching. Regil shrugs indifferently.
Are you doing anything to fight the bleaching?
What do other races do to fight at the old age?
Regil allows himself a brief smirk.
I know what made you ask this question. My kin have earned a certain reputation for their vain attempts to stave off the inevitable. Luckily for the rest of the world, not all gnomes are prepared to spread chaos with their reckless escapades. There are some among us who accept the natural order of things. The bleaching has no effect on my ability to carry out my duties, and therefore it has no, how should I put it, personal meaning for me.
Do you have any friends or family?
I've never wondered at the fate of the former, and never had an interest in the latter. If you'll allow me one piece of advice, Commander, never put too much stock in so-called friendship or camaraderie. Any bonds based on simple affection are temporary and unreliable. Half of your smiling companions certainly consider you their friend for the present, but they will break and betray you the moment you do anything that troubles their happy expectations. Place greater value on respect based on a rational evaluation of your companion's merits. I deeply respect my mentor, who trained me to join the ranks of the Hellknights. I respected her so much that I killed her with my own hands when I discovered that she'd betrayed the Order's ideals and was intending to leave our ranks. It would have been more proper to inform the command and await the formal trial, but on the other hand, that would have injured morale of our young recruits. They should not see manifestations of weakness in our seasoned knights. Regil cringes. You have openly shown your distrust of the Crusader command. Well, then why have you decided to join me? Do not misread my behaviour as distrust of you personally. Like every Hell Knight, I watch everyone closely, searching for signs of weakness and sin. Everyone, including myself.
Regil speaks the last word poignantly.
Indeed, Regil Durange is first on my list of suspects. I observe him daily, marking every fault, every hesitation, every weakness, and I prepare the proper punishment. So it has been and will be. As for your second question, I suppose we may be useful to each other. You and your army are a new power in the Crusade. I rate all the old powers as quite ineffective. I have yet to rate your own efforts, but early indications are positive. That means you may count on my help for now.
And what will happen if your assessment changes?
I will inform you of this, as well as any measures I intend to take. Be aware that I treat my allies more strictly than my enemies. This is a sign of respect.
Something tells me we aren't going to get on, Regil.
Careful
now. Why am I going over here? No reason for me to be going over here. Let's just rest. Actually, we don't need to go all the way into rest. It just kind of teleports us over. We'll do a full day's rest.
Nenio, give me a pen. I want to draw too.
I am not drawing, Burned Girl. I am producing a detailed sketch. Take a pen and some paper. Today we are going to create an optimal layout for the sleeping rolls and other areas of the camp, taking into account wind direction, heat distribution from the fire, and the position of individuals who are prone to snoring.
Yeah, sure. Let's just head straight out. The whitish locks of hair on his head mark the time until his inevitable death, yet his own fate doesn't seem to worry Reginald Durange. Cut off rudely there. Oh. We probably should have gone there, but oh well. Let's rest first.
It's not that I miss the creatures from my old hunting grounds in the caves. But back there, if a beast didn't eat you for lunch, you could eat it instead. It doesn't work like that with demons.
So we're going to go to Chili Creek. There was a guy back in Canabaris when we were in the hanging around the Defender's Hut, and he said he was going on like a kind of pilgrimage to Chili Creek to be a priest with him, and he invited us to visit. So we're going to do that. Seems a little superfluous to the crusade as a whole, but why not? There's not actually any timed element to this. Oh. Hello. That's a bit strange. Don't know why all those walls died. Let's put on our buffs, just in case. Heroism, giving a +2 morale bonus to attack rolls, saves, and skill checks. Later, you get a spell where you can apply it to everyone in one go, and I must say I'm eager for that. And we'll do mage armor as well. We've got plenty. We'll give one to Lan as well. There's no reason why not. And then Darren, you've got some buffs as well. Give everyone Bark Skin. Bark Skin gives us a +2 bonus to our natural armor, which doesn't contradict with any worn armor, so it's a good kind of other layer to have. We don't just put it on. Lan can put it on himself.
Skip the pleasantries.
That's fine for now. Nest, you can. Oh no, it's Warjif, isn't it? Warjif, you use Dexterity Mutagen. And do the shield on yourself. And on Ulbrig. And on Nest, because you're our frontliners. That's fine for now. A small doll made of grass is tied to a tree with a dark blue ribbon. 3 old dolls hang from the branches. Their grass and seaweed bodies are slowly rotting away. Jernau. Jernau walks thoughtfully around the grove. He pauses in front of a few trees, lingering there for some time. He seems to be examining something carefully. At the sound of your footsteps, he turns around abruptly, but the anxious expression on his face quickly gives way to an amiable smile. Commander, it's so good to see you. It seems you found time to visit our quiet backwater after all. You could be mistaken, but it looked like you were frightened by my arrival. Oh no, you startled me, that's all. It's my overactive imagination. I still can't get used to living in such a small village. The town where I grew up was a good deal larger, and it was located near a trade route, so there were always lots of new faces, and plenty of people bustling around.
Here, though, it's different. The moment you step outside the village, you're all alone. You can walk for miles in any direction with only the birds and animals for company. This is, of course, the way Arastil teaches us to live, but truth be told, it still makes me feel somewhat uncomfortable. Why are we looking at those trees? See for yourself. He points to one of the branches, and among the leaves you notice a small doll made of grass and seaweed, tied with a blue ribbon. I keep finding them here in the grove. I think it's some kind of local ritual. I've asked the villagers to tell me what it means, but they won't give me an answer. I just don't understand the reason for all this secrecy. How'd you like living in the village? I'm getting used to the way of things. I still get the occasional sidelong glance from the locals, but that's not surprising. After all, I'm just some stranger who decided to show up without an invitation and settle down in the village. But the church warned us about this. Such caution is to be expected at first. I just have to do my best to earn their trust. I heal, I purify the water, I give blessings. Sooner or later they will accept me as one of their own. It's so quiet here that war makes you forget what peace feels like. I understand. My time in Canabras gave me a small taste of war. I only had to live through it for a few days, but I know the horrors I witnessed will haunt my nightmares for years to come. I cannot imagine how hard it is for those like yourself, soldiers who have given their lives to this cause. The priest placed a hand on his heart. You have chosen to fight there in order to protect our peaceful and quiet life here, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. What do the locals think of Arastil? They're indifferent. They're a pragmatic people, you know. They don't have time for theology. If old Deadeye helps them survive, that's good enough for them. You know, some priests get overzealous with sermons. They demand that people pray, observe all the rituals, make sacrifices, and then those priests, all holy and pious, are surprised when the locals kick them out of the village, right into the nearest ditch. The priest laughs. I was taught differently. First you have to prove your worth. You have to show them why you and your deity are useful. It's only after they've begun to trust you and start asking questions about your faith that you can really share your beliefs. Then you can tell them about old Deadeye and his teachings. Then you can tell them all about old Deadeye and his teachings. Well then, will you show me around the village? Of course, let's go. You'll get to meet the locals, see how we live. Maybe I'll even manage to get some peace and quiet. A temporary respite from the hardships of war. A straw doll clad in a small, skillful embroidered light blue dress is tied to the tree trunk. Old faded ribbons hang from the branches of the tree. A piece of grey ribbon hangs from the branch. They've got the stuff everywhere. What a beast! We've got you now. Watch out for those huge teeth. Don't let them catch you. Oh, whoops. Don't be afraid, everyone. We fought bigger ones than this. Let's get in there.
I won't let you hurt my friends.
Oh, one of them died. Oh dear. That's a pretty significant beast. All brick, death from above. I defaulted to doing a northern accent, but I might try and do a more
You've crossed the wrong
hot fuzz type of accent with these guys. Oh, it's just coming through as northern, isn't it? That'll teach you to mess with us. A man with green eyes and the broad shoulders of a swimmer and the calloused hands of a fisherman shakes his fists at the beast's motionless carcass. The great Urgut. Something's got them all worked up. That's the second time they've crawled out this month. So let 'em come. A woman, her eyes the same shade of green as the fisherman, smiles at you. It's not the first time. It won't be the last. But what's it matter? They can't hurt us. We can use their hides to make a lot of waterproof coats and cloaks. Marco, Melissa, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This is Nest, the commander of the crusade. She's the one I told you about. Ah, a real hero. Okay, this accent's getting all over the place. Ah, a real hero in a little backwater. Okay, it's going all over the place. It's so nice of you to drop by. We've never had anyone so important come to visit. Heroic acts are important. But sometimes it's good to leave the front lines and talk to ordinary people living ordinary lives. Anyway, welcome to Chili Creek. Sorry about that. It started going Welsh and then Irish, and I was trying to do West Country. Okay. Oh, stop it. I'm not an important guest, just a mortal like you. That's right. 2 arms, 2 legs, no horns, or halo, or fangs, or pointy ears. Just a normal human. But your reputation precedes you. Our priest has told us so much about you. We couldn't help but admire you. Hydras are usually far more dangerous. That beast was not at its full strength. Well, I can tell you have an eye for such things. Well, of course she does. She's the commander of the crusade. She probably could have told you all that with her eyes shut. Melissa smiles at you. It's all thanks to our mother, Icy Rill. She takes care of her children. We won't let anyone hurt them. She fills our nets with fish and drives away the monsters. That's right. And if she doesn't drive the beasts away, she'll weaken them, so we can kill them and harvest their hides. Icy Rill, who's that? She's right there. Marco nods towards the river. Did you think this was the Selin? No, it'd take half day's rowing before you reach that river. It's big to be sure and very important. The Selin flows through at least a dozen countries. But where would the great Selin be if it wasn't fed by thousands of little streams and creeks, such as our dear Icy Rill? The people of Chili Creek hold the river in great reverence. The priest's observation is matter of fact, but you notice his voice sounds a bit strained. How can we not? Our whole village is built around the river. From the wedding wreath we send down its stream to the funeral boat that floats away on the waters when the time comes. Our mother, Icy Rill, feeds us, gives us water, protects us. With a kind smile, Marco casts a sidelong glance at the frowning priest. The gods are far away, but our Icy Rill is right here, so we treat her with respect. The two of you look very much alike. I assume you're related. Right you are. Marco ruffles Melissa's hair. She laughs and tweaks his nose. She's my little sister. Takes after our granny. May our memory never fade. She was always restless, couldn't sit still, and Melissa is just the same. She's always up to something. And you took after our grandpa. May the river still be his feather bed. You're as brave as he was, and just as stubborn. You two looked very confident when you were giving orders to the other villagers during the fight. Are you in charge here? Well, how should I put this? Our village is too small for anyone to be in charge. We just happen to know a thing or two about using a weapon. So if some nasty creature comes crawling out of the river, we give the orders. But when it comes to fishing or fixing nets, we'll be the ones following orders. We're not an army and there are no officers here. We all live together, solve our problems together, and serve the Icy Rill together. Irish is coming back. Although, truth be told, it's only been in the last few years that people have really started listening to us. Before that, villagers kept to themselves, and no one wanted to go poking their nose into anyone else's business. When we first came up with the idea to start trading on the river, the other villagers stubbornly dug in their heels. But after money and goods began to flow into the village, they changed their minds. Yes, the village has been growing. We're getting to see all sorts of things we had only ever heard about before. The year before last, we had a fair and people came all the way from Canabras to attend. Then a priest came. We'd never seen one of those before in these parts. But now who'd have thought? The commander of the Crusaders decided to pay us a visit. What are those grass dolls that hang from the trees in the grove? A shadow passes over Marco's face and he looks away. There's nothing much to tell, really. An old local custom. It's just a ritual, Melissa adds in a low voice. No one seems willing to share any further details with you. How is life in the village now that you've got a priest? Not much has changed. Marco shrugs and smiles amiably. He's a good lad, he does some healing, never bothers us with sermons. Why, he's even learning to fish in his spare time. He also knows a lot of songs. When he sings, it makes you want to sit and listen. Melissa smiles archly at the priest and he blushes. The Whirlwind is not that far away. Have you ever been attacked by demons? No, we've never seen any. Our mother Icy Rill keeps us safe. She would never let such abominations get near us. This is a very extreme... I don't like either of you die. No, we're not going to do that. I have to go. Back to the front? Melissa shakes her head sadly. I can't even imagine the nightmarish creatures you have to fight there. Have a safe journey and a swift victory.
costly.
We are going to look around before we leave, though. I caught this big pike the other day. It was as big as a crocodile.
Pretty good, aren't I?
And that's why we loot everything. There's always good stuff around. Also, I want to see why all those dogs are dead. Because it was very weird of them to just drop dead when we first walked in. Look, the commander's here. Welcome back. Please, stay here for as long as you'd like. How are things going in the village? Not much happens in the village. I'm sure you sure have a lot going on, and stuff is always happening in the cities, and on the front lines. But things are pretty quiet out here. But let's see, what's the latest news from our little village? Well, we went fishing and caught some ruff. They were big too. Nice and plump, fat as piglets, I tell you. What else? Weevils have eaten through our carrots. They've gobbled up everything, down to the last stalk. Then the other day, old Breg went up to fix his roof and took a hard fall. If it hadn't been for Journow and his prayers, he'd have kicked the bucket by now. No doubt about that. You must think it's ridiculous to call any of this news. Also, Journow is just downright wonderful. I don't know, maybe his prayers are working. Or maybe he's just a lucky touch. But whenever he blesses me, I always catch a boatload of fish. Also, he sings like a... Enough already. Merkel frowns. Journow this, Journow that. It's all I ever hear you talk about. We've kind of already asked these. The Crusaders are near the world. When the Crusaders are near the world wound, they often experience nightmares in their sleep. Do you have any trouble with nightmares here? Don't know what you're talking about. If I'm honest, I sleep like a dead man. Nothing to complain about. We've already asked these. I guess we can see if it's different. Do you worship any deities here? Faith, religions, deities. With all respect to Journow, no one out here has time for such things. Maybe people in the city can go around saying prayers and listening to sermons, but in a backwater place like this, we're just doing what we can to survive. There's only one provider and protector for us, our mother, Icy Rill. Marco nods towards the river. Yeah, the river doesn't care about prayers or sacrifices. And if the Icy Rill wants something in exchange for her help, she just takes it without asking. Melissa stares pensively at a piece of driftwood as it is carried down by the current. That was slightly different. The Whirlwind's not far away. Have you ever been attacked by the demons? No, we've never seen any. Yep, we've seen that. I have to go.
Careful now.
Hold on, the commander's robbing us blind. It'd be cool if there was some sort of actual thievery system in this game, like you could pickpocket people or some things weren't meant to be taken. Because it is a little silly that you can just steal everything. This is the way we live out here. We're not wealthy, but at least things are relatively quiet. Why were you examining those trees back in the grove? There are little dolls made of grass and seaweed tied to their branches. They're everywhere. Dozens of them. I've asked the villagers what they are, but they just mutter darkly and walk away. Yep, we've sort of heard all that. How do you like living in the village? Yep, we've already had all that. Some of them have really accepted me as their own. Melissa really likes my songs. We see each other every day. Either she'll come to see me or I go pay them a visit. Markle always frowns when he watches us together, but she doesn't seem to care at all. She just laughs sweetly and stares at me with those big green eyes, you know. The priest smiles dreamily. He's in love. There was a reason why Erastil guided me to this village. Meeting this woman was worth the long journey. The horrors of Canabris and all the hardships of a fisherman's life. Aw, that's cute. When the Crusaders are near the world wound, they often experience nightmares in their sleep. Do you have any trouble with nightmares here? No troubles with nightmares here. The village is located on the outskirts of the world wound, so perhaps that's why.
Yeah, we've already seen that. What do the locals think of Erastil? Yep. I feel like you have to be doing a really evil playthrough to just come here and murder everybody. Like even...
That's easy.
Like even... It feels irrational rather than just evil. Like I'll have to do it on some playthrough just to see what what the outcome is. But if something happens, it'll happen there, not here. Things stay quiet around here thanks to the river, and that's how it should be.
Precisely.
It's almost too peaceful here. Oh, there's something more aggressive.
Let's have some fun.
Whoa, okay. I'm not actually able to get up there easily. Where's the way up here? We're all just sort of running around. Oh, is that it? No? Ulbrich, you can fly up there at least. Yeah, I guess shoot them. Do another instrument of freedom.
You won't survive
Now
me.
you can take a shot. Do a scorching ray, Ember. I guess we'll find the way up here, won't we? Ah, okay. It's through around here. That's fair.
I will fight.
There's a lot of wolves hanging around for a peaceful village.
Endure this!
I will see to your demise.
Cover me, all right?
No, nothing around here, it seems. There's something up there. Yeah, we'll just go up here. Big moose. Ferocious Malagos. I don't see any reason to attack the moose. The wolves attacked. I wouldn't have attacked the wolves, but they attacked us. But what killed all the wolves by the entrance? If anything. Oh, plague, Smilodon.
Crusading isn't that boring
Oh, okay.
after all.
That's pretty big. Darren, do a prayer. Nest, you can activate Cat's Grace on yourself.
Cover me.
you made Woljif sick.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Do an extra attack and do that as well.
Make every strike count.
Brilliant. And Scorching Ray Ember. Oh, he's taking the beating. You know what? Cure him. And do Instrument of Freedom.
Stab their backs.
Join them. So you get flanking.
Distract them for me.
Let's just fill out the rest of the area. Oh, looks like that's everything. Very little to worry about around here. Let's just check there's no, yeah. We visited him, that was all that the mission required. Maybe we'll come back later, see how things have developed. For now, let's go. We'll go to the carcass of an unknown creature. We don't seem to be able to get to here yet. We have to find a way across this river. We'll evade the enemies. We'll rest.
You pride yourself on being a rake and a libertine. But could you ever bring yourself to sleep with a mongrel? I bet you'd toss your cookies at the first whiff of one.
If this is you propositioning me, then I'm game. Now, how much would you care to bet?
I wouldn't put it past Darren to sleep with anyone if he thought it would offend somebody. Moondance Meadow. As I understand, if I remember correctly, this is a more substantial location.
Careful now.
A bit more going on here. Maybe I'm thinking of somewhere else. Oh. Oh.
We'll make things right.
Let's put buffs on before we do the attack. Heroism.
Am I doing it wrong?
Sola. There. That's Ember's lot.
Missed me already.
Darren.
Unimosi travisi.
Unimosi travisi.
Unimosi travisi. Unimosi travisi.
Oh, bless as well.
Unimosi travisi.
Do full strength.
Unimosi travisi.
Trust in
Actually, I should be using legendary. Not on land though. Let's do it on.
That's fine. Use glitter dust. Nest, you can do cat's grace on yourself. Darren, you can do a prayer. Woljif, do your dexterity buff. I forgot to do that.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Getting diseased is annoying. It can be quite hard to remove. So I'm glad that we're passing all the checks for now. Do Evil Eye on him, make it a bit easier for everyone else. Oh, it's immune. You win this round.
I'll loot your corpse.
Do a Shield of Faith on Ilbrig.
Time to share your treasures!
Oh. Oh, that didn't help Ulbrig.
You won't survive me.
He got a bit hurt there, didn't he? We've got plenty of potions. Use until fully healed. There you go. Cold Iron. Special metal extracted from the depths and forged at a low temperature. Cold iron is not only useful for making weapons against demons of Fae, but is also a valuable alchemical reagent. Okay. Oh, okay, I think I was thinking of a different location when I thought I was going to be bigger. Is that really it? There's just some plague smilodons and some cold iron. Nothing else. Oh. That's a tad underwhelming.
That's easy.
So underwhelming, I'm suspicious. No, looks like it. No caves or no mobility checks anywhere. No, okay. Let's get out of here then. How is oh yeah, his energy's nearly full. You know what? No risk, no reward. We're gonna take a pop at this. I know we're 2 levels lower, but we've got spells that are very effective against the undead. Yeah, cure wounds. Cure wounds can kill most of them. Take out the rangers first, ideally. Cavalry's in a bad place. Just wipe one out. That's not ideal. Lay hands on self. Let them come to us. And then you can Please kill them all. No? Okay. Archers. Try to make them not as dangerous. This is slightly worrying. Okay. Oh god, okay. This might have been a terrible idea. Oh, no, no, okay. Oh god, okay. I'm regretting this decision. I'm regretting this decision a lot. Okay, weaken them. And then you weaken them. You hit them. Oh good, you hit them again. Oh, we've lost so many. Not a fan of how this went down. Maybe I should have listened to the game. Try and take them out. Okay, good. I reckon we'll still win, but these losses are heavy, to say the least. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Maybe this was a terrible idea. I think we might lose this actually. Yep. Yep. Do we get any survivors? Your army has retreated to the nearest fort. Okay. What does that mean then? When it says retreated, does it mean that... Where
Where is this general? Oh, he's out for 3 days. Okay. We haven't got any spellcasting units. Let's just do protective wards. That was a pretty substantial loss. I think we just have to accept it. Oh, it's going to take us ages to... It's going to take us ages to redo all that. Although I think it auto-saves at the start of the fight, so even if we did reload, we'd have to... No, we're not going to reload. We'll just rest a bunch. Go into camp. At least we didn't lose the general, and that army has been whittled down. But losing the bulk of our forces is not a good thing. They take weeks to spawn.
Precisely.
I guess we could just sit around for weeks. Like I said, there's no actual time pressure in this part of the game, I don't think, so we can just wait around a bunch for it to recharge. But that is irritating. Might as well rest for the longest possible time, seeing as...
If you're so afraid of going near the enemy, I could teach you how to shoot from a bow. True, it's pretty tough to aim when you're running away from the battlefield.
Whenever you decide to finally kick the bucket, give me fair warning is all I ask. If I'm gonna be eating cave slime at your wake, I need to line my stomach good and proper first.
Those two are butting heads, aren't they? I like how if you keep Ember around, you sort of notice that characters basically start treating her like a little sister, especially Woljif and Darren, which I think is really cute. Don't go on there, Georgie. Well, with that setback, I think I'm gonna just leave it there for now. Actually, no, let's not. Let's see if we can get some reinforcements soon. We could just do more on the map with these guys while things regenerate. Oh wait, I need Nenio, don't I? Because we're going to do her side quest place next. Have we got the general back yet? Okay, we can recruit some. Should have just been patient and waited. Am I out of money? Oh, that's even worse. Okay. Is the general ready yet? He'll be ready in 12 hours. Okay, that's fine. You guys can start moving back up. Should have just waited. The Hell Knights were completely wiped out in one hit. That should have been enough to know it wasn't a good idea. Oh well. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there for now with that unfortunate setback. Got too big for my boots apparently. Yep, that's what happens sometimes. At least I don't think they regenerate, do they? No, they're still... Maybe if they had a general they regenerate, but these guys don't have a general. There's just a lot of undead, so they should be easy enough to take out now. But yeah, oh well.
Okay, thanks for watching. If you want to follow me through this series, subscribe and leave a like and a comment if you're feeling generous. Well, thanks for watching. See ya.